I can't hear anything.
I can.
Yep, Chair, it's 6 o'clock. We are now live, so I'll hand over to you.
Right, you couldn't hear anything because unfortunately I pressed mute. We are now live streaming on YouTube. Good evening and welcome to the meeting of Policy and Governance. House rules, virtual meeting rules and regulations. If you will all be muted. If any councillors wish to raise a question, put up your hand and I will get you in order of I see the hands go up. All understood on that one? Thank you. Apologies for absence. Do we have any?
We don't, Chair, no.
None. Declarations of interest. We all know about the declarations of interest under the Act. Members declaration of interest. Officers declaration of interest.
Chair.
Public question time with no members of the public. Have we wanting to speak? Anybody put any questions in, Mr. Clark? Nope.
No, Chair.
Right, thank you. To approve the minutes of the 2nd of February as a true record, I so propose. Do I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Anybody against? Right. Item 6, review of committee structure and terms of reference. I'm going to ask the clerk to share the screen with these committee terms of reference. So can you share the screen on this, Mr. Clark, please?
I can, just give me 1 second because it's just disappeared off. Just bear with me. Oh, hang on. It's all right. Just bear with me.
Whilst the screen is being shared, you may not see all councillors present.
Sorry, Chair. Right, there we go. There you go.
Right, if you need to see councillors present, there's an arrow at any line of councillors and you can do there. Right, we're looking at, first of all, the first one will be allotments and landscapes, as far as I know. On the committees, allotments and landscapes. Membership is 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy mayor. Quorum is 4 councillors with voting powers, and we're going to also include in there 4 councillors with voting powers, including mayor or deputy mayor. Whilst we're doing it now, the clerk's actually going to alter the paperwork, and then we can vote at the end on everything.
If I can spell right.
Mayor or deputy, not mayor and.
It's the pressure of people watch me type. I promise you I'm not this slow normal. We'll sort out the
I noticed we've got Luke with us somewhere. Councillor Monsell, who's chair of allotments and landscapes. Can I ask Councillor Monsell if he's had a look through these, but he might not have had them sent out to him. Where's Councillor Monsell? Let me find him. Councillor Monsell, with this being allotments and landscapes, you're the chair of that, I do believe. Have you looked through these?
Give me a minute, Chair. just talk amongst yourself, and I'll have an in-depth look.
Because what we tend to do, we'll look at it as a committee, which we've done in the past. Councillor Knight Mahmood, I'll come to you in a moment. What we tend to do is look to them as a committee. We'll pass them to council to be given to the committees, and then in May, when the committees are formed, they will look at these. Then if there's any suggestions on there, then it's up to the committee to make the suggestions and let the clerk know about any changes. Councillor Anayat, where are you? There you are. Would you like to come in?
Yeah, sorry, Chair. You just said something which kind of supersedes what I was about to say. Did you just say that you would be sharing these with committee chairs?
Well,
Did you-
all committee chairs will get these. In fact,
Right.
every councillor will get a copy of the.
Okay. Okay, what I wanted to say was that you've gone to Luke for comments, right? Because Councillor Monsell's on this committee, but not all of the chairs are on this committee. Do you see what I'm
No,
saying? So if Councillor Monsell is being, is being asked for his observations, which is right. But what I was going to say was that what about the other chairs that are not on this committee?
Because we're just looking at allotments and landscapes at the moment. And when I go through the other ones individually, i.e. Civic Centre, Events and Leisure, Watch and Transport, I will be asking the chairs in turn then for their comments, if they want to add any comments to them.
Are they in the are they here today?
Well, we've got the chair of Watch and Transport here. We've got the chair of planning.
Okay.
But we're going to more. Not all chairs are in this meeting. I appreciate that, but any chairs that's in, I can ask for their observations so they can get them in straight away rather than.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It was just a matter of principle. That's all. It's fine. If you want to do it that way, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm not picking anybody out individually.
Councillor Akhtar has his hand up, if you can't see him.
I'm going to go to Councillor Akhtar now.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Clark and Mr. Chairman. Yes, actually, what we need to do, the process, we as a committee need to just look at this, approve these, and once we approve these, it goes to the full town council. Yeah, once the town council has approved it, it goes to the, all the new committees, which they should all share. Yeah. And once it goes to the committee, the first meeting, they go through this, and if they think that there's something that we have missed or needs to be amended or added or something, then they can come back to us. So we don't really need to ask any chair, to be honest, is this right or is this not? Because
I was just going to give chairs what they thought on, if they had any that stuck out to them.
No. I wouldn't personally do that. The other chair, you can do it if you want to. I wouldn't do that because as a committee, we're deciding. It's not that I'm the chair of Watch and Transport or somebody else, and they have to be here or they're not here. We don't really need to go into that. Okay, Luke is there. You've asked him, fair enough. But otherwise, we as a committee, just need to have a look at this. And if we're happy with it, we take it to the full council, approve it, and it goes to the committees. If they're not happy with it, they can bring it back. That's
right.
it.
Thank you, Councillor Akhtar.
That's what I was about. That's what I meant. Sorry, Mick. I said it in a different way, but I was just trying to make it format so it's same for everybody.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you've got Councillor Walker, in case you can't see him.
Councillor Walker.
Good evening, Chair, and I'm sorry for joining late with audio, but can I just raise one point before we go through all the committees? The quorum is given us, I think, for all committees now, apart from complaints, 4 town councillors with voting powers.
Yes.
That's slightly misleading because I've checked in various things, including NALC, and quite a number of organisations say that the mayor or deputy as ex officio has no voting powers. Now, I don't think that's the case, but the way it's put at the moment seems to exclude whether or not the mayor or deputy mayor can vote, if you follow my reasoning.
Well, I don't know whether you heard at the beginning of this, when we looked at a lot
No, I
of
didn't.
landscapes and went through and we put 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy, we actually said the quorum is 4 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor and or deputy. So they are included in the vote.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. I wasn't able to lip read at that stage. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So bearing in mind what council has said, we'll let each committee look at these when they go to them. I apologise for that, Luke, Councillor Monsell, for bringing you in. I just thought it might have been better if there were anything this evening. So on the allotments and landscapes, any councillors got any questions on that, on their terms of reference? I'm looking through and all I can see is a couple of councillors and I can't see anybody with hands up.
Councillor Adams has a hand up, Chair.
Councillor Adams, there she is, yes. Yes, Deputy Mayor. You are muted.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I was just thinking about this before, and I'm just wondering whether, I mean, there's something I'm going to bring up later, and regarding the finance and audit terms and conditions, and whether the mayor and deputy mayor should sit on allotments. And both have voting powers.
Well, what we're doing there is it's so the mayor or deputy don't have to attend all meetings. That's why it's mayor or deputy. For ease of splitting the committees between the mayor and deputy. But we will be coming back to another one later on, which I'm looking at, i.e. HR as both mayor and deputy, and I'll come back to that later on.
Okay, thank you.
If councillor's okay with that one? We're all right with allotments and landscapes. Do I get the general consensus? We're all right with allotments and landscapes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think we're okay.
Councillor, what we will do, we will vote on them all at the end after to go to council rather than individual, unless anybody's got something glaring about anything. Right, your next one is Civic Centre strategy. Once again, it's on all of them. I'd like the quorum to be 4 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor and deputy on that one as well. Yeah. Mr. Cooney. Councillor Walker.
Sorry, Chair, just the obvious typo.
Where's that?
Strategy.
Yeah. Chair, what I was saying before, I've asked Councillor Walker, once you've approved this, I've asked him to use his proofreading skills to grammatically go through the document before I share it with all members. He has kindly volunteered to do it. So I'll send Martin the document afterwards and he can annotate it and I will amend it before I send it out to you.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody agreed with that one, yes?
Yep, that's fine.
Yep. Right.
Councillor Adams has a hand up, Chair.
I'm going to try to find her, but she's hid on my screen somewhere. There she is, yes. Councillor Adams, Deputy Mayor.
In view of what the clerk has just said, can we not, can we just remember that grammatical errors will be looked at later on, so there's no need to pick up on everyone.
Okay. Yep. Right, so we're on Civic Centre and strategy. Do we agree that it's still same on this one, quorum, 4 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor or deputy? Are we all agreed on that one?
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
Anything jumping out on anybody on that Civic Centre and strategy? I'm trying to flip through everybody on the top. No, right. 8 page. Complaints Committee. 5 town councillors plus mayor or deputy ex officio, 3 town councillors with voting powers as and when required. Once again, mayor or deputy in the quorum. Are we all happy with that one again?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the only one where I had some thought for the committee.
Yeah.
Obviously, the complaints policy now that you approved is a 2-stage process. So stage 1 is a complaint comes in and it's dealt with by the assistant town clerk who investigates and does the response. If the respondent isn't happy, it moves to stage 2,
Yes.
And it's at that point then when the complaints committee is called. Now, it's just whether or not you want to continue to call it a committee, whether you want to change it into just being a panel or
I would prefer a panel.
well, that's a matter for you. It's just that's the only one I thought of where the committee. It's not a committee as such. It's you need to have a panel of at least 3 councillors to consider the complaint that's reached stage 2. But again, it's just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good thing there. Councillor Nyatt.
Can I propose it's changed to panel?
Yeah, and I seconded by Councillor Akhtar. All in favour of that? It's changed to panel. 4, 4, 4.
Yeah, that seems to be.
Yep. Seems to be everybody. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be now changed to panel.
Yeah, I'm still happy that this is the only committee where full council elects the chairman of the complaints. Is that still to be? It probably should be, at least there's a point of contact.
Yes.
The council.
I think
well,
it should be. I think
yeah.
it should be. Yeah, should
Yes.
remain.
So
Should
the
remain.
wording will need to be changed. The chairman of the complaints panel will be elected at the annual meeting of the council.
Perfect. Thank you all. Councillor Munsell had his hand up.
Councillor Monsell, yeah, I can't find you because we're on a split screen, but I'll try to find you now. Councillor Monsell.
Yeah, just on that one, I remember a bit ago there was some talk about how the town council selects the chair, but then the committee chooses the vice chair. I don't know if that's been changed or not, but I sort of think that seems a bit illogical that either the council should pick both or the committee should probably pick both. And I don't know how members want to proceed on that.
That's a good point. Very good point.
The committee has met once, just in response to Councillor Munsell, Chair. The committee has met once so far this municipal year, and at that first meeting, which I think you chaired, Councillor Akhtar was elected as the vice chair. So the first item of business on the panel that time was to elect the vice chair. But yeah, it's you can change your standing orders and your scheme of delegation, but it's maybe once or twice a year scenario. I don't think that's. I think you can leave it as a committee if I'm honest, but I guess it's a matter for you as members.
Yeah, I think leave it as a panel, and I think both myself and Councillor Akhtar spoke on this. Do we need a vice chair of a 3-man panel, three-man or person panel? Do you really need a vice chair?
Yes, I keep jumping in, and I apologise to members. The complaints panel really would only be called in the date will be chosen in consultation with the chair. So there should be no reason for the chair not to be there. But yeah, it's a one for the members to decide really.
Okay, what do members think about needing a vice chair? Councillor Nyatt.
I think that we kind of just leave it as it is. To my mind, the panel doesn't need a vice chair, but I would just leave it to the committee, whatever they feel is appropriate. Because if they, the 3 of you have to be available to have the meeting anyway.
Well, it's 3 out of 5.
Sorry?
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
To be available, yeah. But usually the chairs gets plenty of notice. It isn't as though we're going to get a complaint and have to deal with it next week. You get plenty of notice that one's come in and be prepared for it. So we're quite happy with that, apart from the change to call it a panel.
Yeah.
Right. Events and leisure. Once again, 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy, 4 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor and mayor or deputy. There's a pattern here. I think this is what we're going to do on them all. Well, nearly them all. Right. I've been looking through the terms of reference for events and leisure. And a suggestion I have is 2 years ago, we invited former mayor Graham Mitchell on because of a big event that was going on in town. I'm coming to you in a moment, Councillor Adams. A big event that was going on in town. Now, nowhere on here is the facilities for that. So I spoke to the clerk today. Obviously, as a chair, I like to speak to the clerk rather than just drop things on him. And that is that we should have a number 11, and that's to elect members of a public group associated with events in the town as a non-voting member of the committee. We've done this in the past, where we've invited members of the public in that's got a great idea for an event, and they just haven't got the platform to launch the event, and they could come to Keighley Town Council and say, look, I've got a great idea for an event. How about you have a look at it? And then we have a look at it. So I'd like that putting in number 11. And I can't see a problem with that, because in the olden days, I'll go back to the olden days with myself and Councillor Actor, when we had events, we used to invite people from Cliff Castle and everybody like that to the events before the meeting, and they come up with their ideas, and we worked off each other. But I'm just going to bring Councillor Adams in first, and then Councillor Actor.
Yeah, I mean, I would concur. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to elect a non-voting member, but if the provision's there for it, it's there, and we can do. I mean, we have had it in the past, and I'm sure we'll have it again in the future. I mean, we've had it just recently anyway with a member of the public who would be an absolute asset. No, they wouldn't have voting powers, but it would be good to have that provision in there so we can do it at any time.
Yep. Councillor Actor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to say, don't keep saying olden times, yeah, that me and you in the past, yeah, you're quite right with what you actually said. Is that not taken care of in our standing orders, that we could get members of the public, yeah, because we can have these people on any committee, that apart from the finance and finance basically. The others, yeah, is that not already taken care of in the? And do we need to have it on here then? You're quite right, actually, maybe, yeah, it should be here.
It should be on your terms of reference.
Okay. Because, because we have done that in the past and we are allowed to do that. And it's good to have people, the members of the public with the expertise that we're actually dealing or discussing or debating on or organising in that way, yeah? So, yeah.
Who's having a £5 fine for a telephone ringing? For the Mayor's charity, Councillor Actor.
Prove it.
It was, 'cause I rang you. Right, so can we add on number 11 to elect members of the public groups associated with events in the town as a non-voting member of the committee?
Yeah, Chair, I'll tidy up the wording. I will do some work. I'm fairly certain that even though they are non-voting cooperative members, they will still be subject to the same declarations of pecuniary and non-pecuniary interests.
Yes.
So that's a little bit of paperwork involved there for any individuals that committees may want to appoint. But yeah, if you're happy with the principle, I can work up the exact wording to go on there.
I'm proposing that addition. Do I have a second? Councillor and Mahmood seconding. All in favour?
Yeah, that's past, Chair. It's unanimous.
It's unanimous. Right. Finance and audit. Right. On this one, I've been looking at this, and I would like councillors to consider this very carefully. Membership, 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy mayor, should be mayor and deputy mayor because they both sit on the finance working group. So I'm just going to throw that open to anybody for, I see Councillor Munsell's got the thumbs up there. Anybody got any suggestions on that or would like to come back on that?
Councillor Adams has a hand up, Chair.
Councillor Adams?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to suggest because, I mean, I'm deputy mayor this year. I've sat on the working group committee, which is the working group, which is a really important group to try and get the budget into place. But I don't sit on finance. The mayor does. So I think because of that, the continuity, I think the mayor and deputy mayor should sit on the finance committee, should both have voting rights and follow it through.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to change it to mayor and deputy. Councillor Actor, you've got your hand up.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm of the other opinion, actually. No, I think the way it's been done in the past, it's been working and it's working fine. As you know, deputy chair, there is no position in law. It's only the chair, as far as we're concerned. The reason why they've had the deputy chair and the chair is because they get to attend all the committees, yeah? Sometimes the mayor can have an input to the budget working group because obviously the deputy wasn't there, or vice versa. That's the reason why they are there. They have the overall knowledge. It's not about that they should also be on the finance committee, because then you are changing the structure of your committees, yeah? And I don't think that is necessary.
Right. Have we got any other thoughts on that from any other councillor? Councillor Anayat Mahmood?
Yeah, I mean, are you proposing the mayor and deputy mayor as well as the 8 members? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, only for ease of
Fine.
access for the knowledge that they can. If you go to a budget working group, it's usually members of the finance committee that's in the budget working group. So if you then bring, it does say the budget working group we established, which comprise the RFO, the town clerk, mayor and deputy mayor, and chair or deputy chair of finance. If the deputy chair and chair of finance have been at the meetings, they know what's going on. If the mayor's at the meeting, he knows what's going on. If the deputy mayor's not at the meeting, she's going in, or he or she will be going into the budget working group cold, not knowing what's being said in the meetings. And this is the reason behind looking at mayor and deputy mayor being on that committee.
Can we go to a vote?
I'm going to go at Councillor Akhtar first. I'll let you-
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but really, yeah, you could say about the other committees that they don't have knowledge about because they don't actually go to those either. So I don't really think, because I'll tell you why, I've been a deputy and I've been the mayor as well. It is time consuming, although at the moment with the pandemic, yeah, it's a bit different. You do need to give a lot of time. And not only that, finance committee is the only one that meets every month. So it's quite time constraining. And I personally, like I've already said, the reason why they're both there, because you have the ex officios at all the committees. So I don't really see any reason that they need to be at the finance. They both need to be there. I don't think.
Right. Did you want to come back, Councillor Adams?
Yeah, I'd be interested to know, as Vice Chair of Finance, Councillor Curtis's thoughts on this.
Councillor Curtis? You are muted still.
Hi, how's that?
That's better.
Yeah, I don't have a big axe to grind on this really. I think like Councillor Akhtar said, the idea of having 2 ex officios, it's as if one can attend and the other can't. I don't think finance is any more important than the other committees. So, and I think if the deputy mayor is going and hasn't been before, I suppose they could read the minutes and the notes and ask. So, I mean, really, I think we want the mayor or the deputy there, and we do have 8 members. So we won't want to create an unwieldy committee. So I think, yeah, on balance, I'd say both are not needed.
Chair, Councillor Ahmed did have his hand up. I don't think
I know, I'm just flicking across the top of the screen to find him. Councillor Ahmed.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, what I was going to say is, during a normal year, because of the COVID, I mean, things are relaxed, but the mayor and the deputy mayor tend to be busy. Now, if they're going to do that, then it just, like Councillor Akhtar said, this is the committee that is monthly. Now, it's going to take a lot of time, OPC. Would every mayor or deputy mayor have the actual time to be turning up to all the meetings for finance? And then on top of that, you can say everything else with regards to other committees as well, whether we need them there as well. Then,
Okay, like I say, it was just a suggestion. So I'll bring you back in one more time, Deputy Mayor. But if it's a debate, normally you speak once. But go on.
Yeah, it was only to, in view of what everybody else is saying, I agree, because I suppose I mean, as deputy mayor, I attend meetings that aren't in effect my meetings. So, I mean, I would just encourage both the mayor and the deputy mayor to attend finance meetings, but not necessarily have them both on the committee.
Right, so are we in favour that we keep this to the 8 town councillors plus mayor and deputy mayor? There's no such proposal. It's just, do we keep that as it is? All those think we should keep it as it is? Show of hands?
Yeah.
There's no proposals there. I think the general consensus is keep it as it is. Right, so that stays as it is. In events and leisure. I don't think we've got many. HR. And that once again on a need, something needs changing, which is quorum 3 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor and deputy mayor. Because when it says 5 town, well, mind you, just says 5 town councillors plus, yeah, that can stay as it is. Because it doesn't say the word in membership 5 town councillors with voting powers like the other ones do. Most of them do anyway. Are we quite happy with the HR as it is?
Yep.
I'm trying to flick across the list. Yep. Right. Next one is community development. 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy mayor, 4 with voting powers, which includes mayor or deputy mayor. Are we quite happy with that as it is?
Yeah.
I keep hearing somebody saying, yep, good. Planning. Now, planning is a difficult one because it's 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy, and we've had problems with planning in the past. So that would be up to the planning committee to see how it goes next year as to whether they want to revert back to the quorum of 3, which they had before, rather than 4. And that would be up to the committee to have a look at that. Councillor Adams, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, I believe that planning should be kept the same as all other committees, to be quite honest. I know they meet fortnightly and everything else, but a quorum of 3, I mean, you can't really make a decision.
No, you can't, not with 3.
Quorum of 3. Not a true decision. So I personally think it should be kept as 4 town councillors with voting powers, the same as every other committee.
Yeah, perhaps encourage people, if they're going to go on it, to attend the meetings.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Do I have anybody else want to speak on planning? Councillor Ward, Chair of Planning.
Thank you, Chair. I support what Deputy Mayor has just said, but with a couple of caveats. One is that 2 years ago, when Councillor Fletcher was a member of the Planning Committee, we took the quorum down to 3 by agreement with Town Council, which everybody supported. And we basically carried the Planning Committee through that period of about 6 months. In the current cycle, we've had at least 3, possibly 4 in quorum meetings with the 4 town councillors rule. I think that comes on to what we're going to be talking about at the next full meeting of this committee, which is attendance at meetings.
Yeah.
The one query I would have is item 4 on planning. I've been on planning 4 years and 3 years as chair. I have never had any approach from Bradford or anybody else about street naming. For example, the Occupational Lane Persimmon site, no contact. The Bogthorn establishment, no contact. So while that's a desirable thing to have, in practice it doesn't exist. Thank you.
Okay, but it's in there in case they do ask us. Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, just to come back, absolutely number 4 needs to be kept there, because you can guarantee the minute it's taken out, they will come to us talking about street names and it's not there. I don't believe we should be having caveats for this and caveats for that. At the end of the day, what we do need to do is what's been suggested before. When you are signing up for a new committee, you need to think about what committee you're signing up for, why you're signing up for it, and have the time to be able to attend those committees. There shouldn't be one committee. I mean, I know HR has a quorum of 3, but that's a very, very different committee. But I think planning should follow on the rule of all the other committees and have the 4.
Do all councillors agree on leaving it as, I'll come just a moment, Councillor Walker. Do councillors, anybody else, before I bring Councillor Walker back in with no?
Can I make a quick point about number 7?
Yes.
And this is about trying to limit the number of applications that committee considers. At the minute, to be honest, if it comes in time, we are putting it on the committee agenda, and most committee agendas, as Councillor Walker will know, has more than 15 applications on. Because the view I've taken is it's far better for members to come to a conclusion on an application rather than me as the clerk submit a delegated view. The only time I'm using the delegation is if something comes in between meetings and the deadline is before the next meeting. So I think you should leave it in there. It's always handy if we get a particularly bad month where we get lots of applications in. But it's not something which we are currently actively using. Maybe next year, if obviously when the new committee is constituted, it may change its mind. But at the minute I'm not sticking to the 15 rule. It's just for members' information, really.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Ahmed.
Thank you, Chair. So I think with regards to this committee, I think we all know that we've got a bit of an issue with this. It's kind of, well, we have it twice a month. Now, with regards to this, what I'd like to suggest is maybe if we could increase the number of committee members to maybe 10, and then hopefully we should get a quota. Obviously, I don't think in planning we're going to get 10 or 9 or 8, but maybe, hopefully, we'll get the 4, and hopefully the meeting will go ahead. Now, that's a suggestion that I'd like to put out to everyone. What do people think?
I'd like to come back to you on that, Councillor. Less than 5 minutes ago, you said that we shouldn't be having more than 8 on the. Well, it was suggested more than 8 on the Finance and Audit Committee. So I can't see why we should have more than 8 on the Planning Committee. I'm going to go to Councillor Walker. He had his hand up first, then Deputy Mayor. Councillor Walker.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I don't agree with what Councillor Ahmed has just suggested. We have found ways of making this committee work over the last 3 years that I've been chair. And also through you to Deputy Mayor, who may want to say something in response. I use the word caveat, but surely the whole point of this meeting is to discuss each committee in turn and then vote on it at the end. And as chair of planning, I reserve the right to express views. Thank you.
Before I bring in the Deputy Mayor, we are not here to discuss each committee. We are here to discuss terms of reference for each committee and not the committee as a whole. It is their terms of reference. We as a committee look at terms of references for every committee. We put these to full council who either accept or reject. If they're accepted, they are given to the committee at the start of the civic year. It's then up to the committee to have a look through them all. If they think there's something wrong with them, they had the time to raise this in full council, and that's the time it's done. We are here just to look at the terms of reference laid down as they are, all the hard work done by the office staff putting them together. We are not discussing committees, we are discussing terms of reference. Deputy Mayor, can I bring you in?
Yes, you can. First of all, yes, everybody is entitled to an opinion. That's what a committee is all about, and those opinions form the end result. Secondly, I fully agree with Councillor Ahmed. I think it's an excellent idea. It's a difficult committee to fill anyway. It does meet twice monthly, and I do believe that if there was a membership of 10, you would have more chance of having a quorum meeting, because as we all know, the one meeting that is usually, well, a lot of the time in quorate is planning. So I
That's it.
think that's a very, very good solution.
Yeah, can I come back, please?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Walker.
Yeah. I don't want to make this personal, but there have been at least 3 occasions when we have asked for volunteers to fill one planning vacancy during my time as chair, and we have had a nil response. The idea that we're suddenly going to get 2 more just isn't viable.
Well, we have a couple of by-elections coming up and a couple of co-options, so we'll just keep them options open. Councillor Ahmed, just a moment. We're just going to see if anybody else is wanting to come in. Councillor Akhtar, Councillor Dowse, Councillor Curtis. Councillor Akhtar first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This committee has always had attendance issues, and yes, our current chairman is correct. We have made it work somehow, yeah, but reality is we've always had an issue of attendance with this committee. So therefore, really, yeah, what Councillor Amjad has suggested, maybe we could increase the number of, yeah, maybe we'll not get all those councillors to fill the 10 positions or whatever number you want to, in case we do increase. But it's not a bad suggestion, to be honest, because we've tried everything else and we're still struggling. And this is the only committee or the statutory duty we as a town councillor have. It's the most important committee as well, yeah, that we don't take it too seriously.
Well, I will, based on what's been said by councillors, I'm willing to open it up and say, do we change this from 8 to 10 or keep it at 8? Do I have any proposing that we have change it to 10 councillors? Do I have a proposal for that?
Yeah, the thing is,
Ahmed.
sorry, Chair, can I just come back in?
You can.
Thank you. Yeah, with your suggestion or Amjad's, only problem is we can't even fill our 8 slots that we have. So that's the only issue. Will that help us by increasing to 10? Although it's, I think, yeah, maybe it should help us, but we can't get 8 people on it. So are we going to fill it in?
Well, like I keep saying, Councillor Akhtar, I'm here to facilitate the meeting and not to influence the meeting. So if a councillor comes up with that and it's a general consensus, people are saying go to 10, then I will throw that open and say, the councillors want us to change the membership from 8 to 10. That's the question on the table. Yes, Mr. Clark.
Councillor Ahmed is waving furiously.
I know. I was going to come back to him, but go on, Councillor Ahmed.
Thank you, Chair. Well, the thing is, as we all know, yeah, we've got a bit of an issue. You know, the meetings that we have bi-monthly, yeah, you don't usually get the full attendance. The only reason why I said that is because it's every twice a month now. What we can try to do is alleviate the pressure of councillors to say, well, I will put my name down, I'll put my hand up and I'll put my name down, but then they're thinking, well, I've got to do twice a week. Now, that's why I'm trying to say now, and if we can put it to the councillors that we do have an issue with this committee, that's why we have increased it to 10, and it doesn't mean that you have to turn up to 10, but if you can try to, all 10 have to turn up, yeah, but if you can try to make it there. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Maybe what's been putting people off is 2 meetings a month.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'm going to change my wording a little bit to in the past, just for Councillor Akhtar. Watch and Transport, in the past, we had something called alternate members. Rather than just throw 8 councillors in, we could have 8 councillors and 2 or 3 alternate members. There's nothing in standing order saying we can't have that. And there's nothing in legislation saying we can't have that. Because if you look at the area panel and the area planning, they have alternate members. And that's just a suggestion we could go down. I could perhaps leave that in the capable hands of the clerk to puzzle out how we could do that in full council when we're electing members for, if we left it at 8 and people, say we get 10 people put the name down for it, We could have 8 members and 2 alternate.
Chair, you've got quite a few hands up, but I'll just a bit of alternate members are useful when you operate a group system. So if you work as a group on a council and you have a group chair or a group whip, for example, and they know that one of their members isn't going to be there, they can then get one of the alternates to attend. That isn't, we're a town council, we don't have that format. It's much harder because as the clerk, I may get a phone call or an email at 5:30 to say, I'm stuck at work, I can't come tonight. The chance of finding an alternate in that extra half hour, isn't it? But again, it's an interesting idea, but I just think, think how it works in practical. And the last thing I'll say is, if you go to 10 members, again, that's fine. It's a third of the council. But you are a committee of, you're a member of that committee, and every time it attends, you'll be summoned to attend that committee. So you can't pick and choose which one. In theory, you are being summoned to attend, and one of the 3 things you as elected members have to do. One is you have to sign your declaration of office. 2, you've got to declare it, and 3, you've got to attend when summoned to a meeting. So we have an issue with our attendance, and I think you've got to think of increasing numbers doesn't actually necessarily get you there. But again, it's up to you as members to decide.
Right, I'm now looking along the top line. See who's got their hand up. I have got the deputy mayor.
Yeah, again, I'll go back to agreeing with what Councillor Ahmed said, and I think you've got more chance of getting a quorum meeting if you have a bigger membership. So I would propose that we change it from 8 councillors to 10.
Do I have a seconder on that? I'm looking along the line. Yes, Councillor Amjad Ahmed. Okay, to change from 8 to 10 councillors plus mayor and deputy mayor. All in favour? 1, 2,
5 in favour, 6 in favour, Chair.
Against?
And 1.
1. Okay, can then be recorded. Thank you very much. We will now go to the next one, which is community development. 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy mayor. Have I skipped one out, Joe? Is that right?
Done that already, Chair.
Pardon?
We've done that already.
We haven't done community development.
We've done community development.
We did it before planning.
We did.
Alphabetically.
Did we?
Yeah.
P&G next.
We're looking at P&G. 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy mayor, 4 town councillors with voting powers, including mayor or deputy mayor, to be added. He's got that there, look. Anybody see anything standing out on that? P&G, I'm looking across the line. I can't see anybody raising their hand. I can see a lot of head shaking, a lot of head nodding, and people falling asleep. Right, we're happy with that one. Watch and transport. 8 town councillors plus mayor or deputy, delegated police officer, non-voting power, 4 town councillors with voting power, including mayor or deputy once again. A small thing on here, and I just wondered if the clerk can look through paperwork on this. Number 9, to be responsible for the provision of grit bins in Keighley and their twice yearly fill up where the agreed criteria is met. I do believe that a couple of years ago, this was handed back to full council to actually deal with grit bins and gritting. Perhaps I could ask Councillor Actor if he remembers it.
No, actually, I don't remember that, to be honest, and I don't think it would be wise to hand it back to the whole council to deal with this. How will they decide once a month or whenever they meet if there are issues with it? And I think it's been with the watch and transport all along. Perhaps the budget or something might be a bit extra that if we need, that can be facilitated perhaps or asked for. But I think where it is sitting at the moment, I think it's the right way.
Thank you for correcting me, Councillor Actor.
Councillor Knight, Chair.
Yeah, I'm just
Sorry.
along the line. There you are, Councillor Knight.
Sorry, Chair. Yeah, I was just backing up my chair as the vice chair. I would agree that we keep 9 where it is.
Good, thank you. Are we all happy with the?
Yeah, the only thing I'd suggest is the Water and Transport Committee also oversees things such as the boundary signs and what I'd probably call street furniture that the town council has. We probably should reference it somewhere in the terms of reference that it is also responsible for boundary signs and street furniture that the town council has. Because we've still got in our ownership for telephone boxes, which again fall under the Water and Transport. So I think we should just put just clarify that in the terms of reference
Would
as
then
well.
be added into number 4 to consider issues related to traffic calming, signage, car parking, boundary signs could come under signage, car parking, street lighting, other highway matters, including footpaths adjacent with highways. Could we put it in there somewhere?
I can't. If members are happy, I can reword that to make it include boundary signs and other such street furniture.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chair and vice chair, okay with that one?
I would agree, yeah.
Right, so we're happy with that addition. We're happy with Watch and Transport. Right, I think we've gone through them all there. And that's what the meeting is here for tonight, to look at the terms of references of committees. I'm proposing, with all the additions that's been done, that these terms of reference for all committees be forwarded to full town council. That'll be in May.
March.
March. I thought, yeah, March. Okay, then. I was just thinking beginning of the new civic year, along with standing orders when them go through as well.
What I propose to do, Chair, with the committee agreement is I'll send this to council in March, get them to approve the changes, but really what they're doing is pre-approving them for the annual meeting in May. So all the changes, they'll then get the new document. Same with the standing orders. Next month, I'll bring standing orders to you. We'll do the same thing, go through them again. Council in March. So we are pre-preparing everything then. So when we come to annual meeting in May, it should be a straightforward approving the new documents.
Right, and that includes, I hope council before the next meeting can read the scheme of delegation, because that'll be going to full council in May, I do believe.
Yeah.
So with all those amendments, I'm proposing we accept them as a committee and ask full council to ratify them. I've got a second with Councillor Mohammed. Good night, Mohammed. All in favour? Passed.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Seeing what next on the date of next meeting. Tuesday the 2nd of March at 6 p.m. Now for that meeting, hopefully everybody will have their old standing orders in front of them or read through them, because the next meeting will be mainly about standing orders. Councillor Akhtar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, perhaps I should have come in at the beginning. Keighley has lost another stalwart community worker from the voluntary sector, Ghulam Rabbani, who I'm sure many of you know, has passed away today. And we as a council and as a committee would like to pass our condolences, no doubt, to the family of Ghulam Rabbani.
Yeah, I'm sure we would. I'll echo exactly everything you said there, Councillor. I do remember Mr. Rabbani very well, and I think he's come to council a couple of times and supported quite a few of the councillors there. You know, so yes, it'd be a great loss to Keighley, Mr. Rabbani, and to the community as well.
Colleague for quite a few years, 15 plus years, 18 years of mine, actually, at Sangat Centre.
At Sangat Centre. Councillor Mohammed Anayat.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest, Mr. Chairman, if we could actually do an official letter to Sangat Centre, sending our condolences, to his family and also his colleagues and the actual voluntary organisation.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah. You propose that.
I propose.
Actually, I think because this is our first committee meeting, and he's passed away today, perhaps this might be something that the town council wishes to write to the Sangat Centre, rather than just.
I'll do it
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chair,
That's
yeah.
that's what I meant.
Right. I'll second that.
Yeah, I'm sure we don't need to show hands there. I'm sure everybody will be in agreement that a letter, we asked the council to send a letter of condolence to the Sangat Centre to be passed on to his family as well.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, councillors. That's sad news to finish on tonight.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Right, so the next meeting is on the 2nd of March at 6 o'clock.